Igor Shesterkin is just an incredible goaltender. He is truly a freaking joy to watch in net, I have to say. Captain Paul here for the locker room. If you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe. And let's get into it. The New York Rangers played the Carolina Hurricanes in Carolina, and they ended up winning 2-1. Their best line by far was the Panarin, Zibanejad, and Tarasenko line. They were involved in both goals scored by the Rangers. Zibanejad threw an absolute beauty of a pass over to Panarin to score a goal. Then on the second goal, Panarin finds Fox going into the offensive zone, and he just shoots it far side. Ended up getting that second goal, which was the game winner. But I'm going to be very clear here. The only reason the Rangers were even in this game was the legend of Igor Shesterkin. I know he's not having the ridiculous stats he did last season, but to be quite frank, this guy is still an elite goalie. On 30 shots against, he makes 29 saves. That's a solid .967 save percentage, and he could single-handedly carry the Rangers to a Stanley Cup. That is how good Igor Shesterkin is. And the Rangers faithful have to be grateful in a lot of aspects. You went from Richter to Lundqvist to now Shesterkin. It's absolutely incredible how good the Rangers are at getting great goalie prospects and having them pan out. The Carolina Hurricanes were the better team for most of this game. The problem, though, is when Carolina made mistakes, they made some really bad mistakes, and it cost them. So if I'm a Carolina Hurricane fan looking at this game, well, yes, my team made mistakes. We look like the far more dominant team, but I would argue, if I'm a Rangers fan, that was not their best game. They were completely outplayed, and because you have a stud back in net, you won that game. Goaltending can win you series, and it can win you cups. We have seen average to even somewhat below average goalies win a Stanley Cup around a very talented team. Anthony Niemi for the Chicago Blackhawks sticks out to me, a goalie of that ilk. But let's also be clear, you need to have elite to very good goaltending to usually win a cup. And this isn't a knock on Anderson. I think he's a very good goalie. I think he could win a cup. But Shesterkin, that's just a different breed. He comes up with some phenomenal saves in the big moments that you truly need, and to me is a money goalie. This team is better than it was last year. I think Zibanejad, Panarin, the Tarasenko line has been gelling. Kane, Trocheck, and Kreider have been gelling as well, and I love the kid line. And I got to give a little bit of love to Lafreniere. He was heavily criticized, mocked, and he's really turned around. I love his game, and I'm a Bruins fan, but I really believe in this kid. I think he could really turn into something pretty special. Will he ever be a superstar? I don't know, but I definitely believe he has the ability to be a first-line winger. That aside, I just felt like making a video because watching that game, seeing how locked in Shesterkin is, we're not that far from playoffs. It seems like he's tuning up. And let's be clear, it's not like the guy's having a terrible season. 52 games played, 33 wins, 12 losses, 7 overtime losses, a 2.55 goals against average, and a .914 save percentage. But in his last 5, .967 against Carolina, .923 against Carolina, a shutout against Pittsburgh, a .938 against Pittsburgh, and a .903 against Washington. His last 4 indicate he is starting to heat up. And if I'm in the Eastern Conference and I'm facing him in the playoffs, that's the one guy you don't want to get into a rhythm. I'd be interested to know what your thoughts are down below. Can Shesterkin carry the Rangers to a Stanley Cup? I'm Captain Paul, and I'll see you in the next video.
Ice, but that's how this game ends. The Rangers will take a 2-1 win.